Have you ever wondered why some men, even without wealth or luxury, effortlessly capture a woman's heart, while others, despite having everything, still feel invisible? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's something deeper. Today, we're diving into 6 things women secretly love more than money. Ancient truths guided by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosophy. So before we start, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and watch till the end, because understanding this will completely change how you build attraction and emotional depth in your love life. 1. The calm power of emotional control. Have you ever had that one person, that one woman, who could make your heart race with a single text and completely destroy your peace with her silence? We've all been there. You're sitting there staring at your phone, waiting for a reply that never comes. Your mind starts spinning stories. Did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? Is she talking to someone else? And before you even realize it, your emotions start controlling you. You double text. You check her social media. You start reacting, trying to fix something that may not even be broken. That's when the attraction dies. You see, Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This single line holds the secret to every powerful man's calm energy, and the secret to what women find deeply attractive. Because when you lose control of your emotions, you lose your power. But when you master them, you become magnetic. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man named Daniel. He was in love, deeply, madly in love, with a woman who seemed to control his entire world. At first, everything was perfect. The good morning texts, the long calls, the endless affection. But as time passed, she began to pull away. Her messages got shorter, her tone colder, and Daniel panicked. He started overthinking. He tried harder. He became clingy, and with every attempt to pull her closer, she drifted further away. One night, after being ignored for days, Daniel broke down. He was angry, frustrated, lost. He wanted to send her a long emotional message, but something stopped him. He remembered reading a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." So instead of reacting, he chose to reflect. He took a deep breath. He closed his eyes. He realized his peace had become dependent on her attention. That was his mistake. The next morning, he didn't check his phone. He went for a walk. He focused on his purpose, on himself, on the things that made him feel alive before she even existed. Days later, something unexpected happened. She texted him again. This time, she was the one seeking his attention. Why? Because calm energy is power, and women feel it. When you can remain grounded in the storm, when her silence doesn't shake your worth, you become mysterious, rare, and deeply attractive. Emotional control isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about mastering them. It's about saying, "I feel the storm, but I won't let it control me." Because the truth is, she doesn't fall for the man who reacts. She falls for the man who remains calm, centered, and composed, no matter what. That's the man she'll respect. That's the man she'll chase. That's the man she'll never forget. So ask yourself, what are you building? What legacy are you leaving? Because when you move with purpose, you don't chase love, you attract it. And that's the fire she'll never forget. 3. The unspoken confidence, without needing validation. Have you ever been around a woman and felt that strange pressure to impress her? To say the right thing, to act a certain way, to make her laugh, to prove that you're good enough? You start overthinking your tone, your posture, even your messages. And the more you try, the more distant she becomes. Why does that happen? Because confidence can't be performed, it's felt. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." That single line is a mirror, showing you how often we live for validation, not authenticity. Let me tell you a story you might see yourself in. There was a man named Ethan. He met a woman who instantly captured his attention, her smile, her energy, everything about her. From that moment, he wanted her to like him. So he started changing, subtly at first, but then completely. He texted more often, complimented her constantly, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, and tried to become the version of himself he thought she'd love. But the more effort he put into winning her approval, the more she drifted away. He became predictable, safe, desperate for her validation. And nothing kills attraction faster than that. Then one night, scrolling through old notes, he came across another quote from Marcus Aurelius. "A man's true delight is to do the things he was made for." It hit him like lightning. Ethan realized he'd stopped living for himself. He wasn't being genuine. He was being performative. He was no longer Ethan the man. He was Ethan the pleaser. So he decided to change. Not to win her back, but to win himself back. He went back to his routine, training, working, improving. He stopped explaining himself, stopped seeking attention, stopped overanalyzing silence. He let his actions speak louder than his words. Weeks passed. One evening, out of nowhere, she texted him again. This time, she was the one trying to impress him. Why? Because she felt something different. His unspoken confidence. That quiet, steady energy that says, "I don't need your approval to know my worth." That's what women are drawn to. Not the man who chases validation, but the one who radiates certainty. You see, true confidence isn't about loudness, muscles, or status. It's about inner peace, knowing who you are, what you stand for, and refusing to bend for approval. Women can feel when a man's confidence comes from within, when he's grounded, unshaken, and comfortable in silence. That's what pulls her in, because every woman has met men who talk big, flex wealth, or act tough. But very few radiate unspoken confidence, and that's what she secretly craves, the man who doesn't try to prove his worth, because he already knows it. So stop performing, stop seeking validation, start standing still in your truth, your silence, your presence. Because when you no longer need approval, that's when you become unforgettable. 4. The art of listening, the Stoic form of connection. Have you ever been in a conversation with a woman, maybe someone you really care about, and as she spoke, you were already thinking of what to say next? Maybe you were trying to fix her problem, maybe you were trying to defend yourself, or maybe you were just waiting for your turn to talk. We've all done it. But here's the truth that most men never learn. Women don't fall for the man who talks the most. They fall for the man who listens. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." And that's exactly what listening is. A form of inner discipline. To truly listen, you must silence your ego. You must stop thinking about being right, or clever, or impressive, and simply be there. Let me share a story that will make you see this differently. There was a man named Adil. He loved a woman deeply, but their relationship had started to feel distant. She often said, "You don't understand me." And he didn't get it, because in his mind, he was doing everything right. He was providing, showing affection, checking in daily. But one evening, they had a small argument. She started explaining her feelings, how she felt unseen, unheard, disconnected. Adil interrupted her mid-sentence, trying to explain himself, to fix it logically. She grew silent. Tears rolled down her cheeks. And in that moment, something shifted in him. He realized he had never truly listened. He was always reacting, defending, or analyzing, but never feeling what she was saying. Later that night, he remembered a Stoic passage from Marcus Aurelius. If someone is mistaken, instruct them kindly and show them their error. But if you cannot, then blame yourself or no one. So he decided to change his approach. The next time she opened up, he said nothing. He didn't interrupt. He didn't try to solve. He just looked into her eyes, nodded gently, and let her words flow. And for the first time in a long while, she leaned in closer. Not because he said the right thing, but because she felt heard. That night, their connection deepened, not through grand gestures or expensive gifts, but through the simple power of listening. You see, listening is not weakness. It's control. It's empathy in action. It's the ability to hold space for someone else's emotions without letting your ego interfere. A Stoic man knows that wisdom begins with silence. He doesn't rush to speak. He observes, he feels, he listens. Because when you listen, truly listen, you create something far more intimate than attraction. You create trust. And trust, my friend, is what makes a woman open her heart. She doesn't remember how much you spent on dinner. She remembers how she felt when you understood her without judgment. So next time she talks, don't rush to reply. Pause, listen, be present. Because in that silence, she won't just feel heard, she'll feel safe. And when a woman feels safe with you, she'll never forget you. The mystery of self-discipline. What's more attractive to a woman? A man who chases every temptation, or a man who can control his desires? You already know the answer. There's something mysteriously powerful about a man who doesn't give in easily. A man who has quiet control over his body, his emotions, his impulses. Because in a world where everyone is a slave to instant gratification, the man who can delay pleasure, who can choose focus over distraction, stands out like a lion among sheep. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." And that's exactly what self-discipline is. Not talking about strength, but living it. Let me tell you a story that might sound familiar. There was a man named Hamza, handsome, charming, confident, but restless. He lived for the thrill, new women, parties, attention, excitement. For a while it felt good. He felt alive, but deep down he knew something was missing. Each morning he woke up empty. His body was tired, his mind foggy, his heart hollow. One night, scrolling through old Stoic writings, he came across a line from Marcus Aurelius. "A man's worth is measured by the things he can resist." It hit him hard. Hamza realized he wasn't free. He was a prisoner, not to other people, but to his own lack of control. So he made a choice. He started small, waking up early, training his body, saying no to distractions. He stopped wasting energy on shallow conversations and started pouring it into his goals. And as the days passed, something changed. His energy shifted. His eyes looked sharper. His words carried weight. Women began to notice, not because he was trying to impress them, but because his discipline spoke louder than words. You see, discipline has an aura. It's magnetic. When a man practices control, his presence feels different, grounded, steady, unshakable. And women can sense it immediately. Why? Because self-discipline represents leadership. It tells her, this man can lead himself, which means he can be trusted to lead others. Most men chase comfort, scrolling endlessly, avoiding pain, giving in to impulses. But Stoicism teaches that real peace doesn't come from comfort. It comes from mastery. When you master your urges, your focus sharpens. When you say no to temporary pleasure, you create room for long-term power. A man who practices discipline doesn't need to brag. His lifestyle speaks for him. The way he walks, the way he looks people in the eye, the way he handles pressure, all reflect inner control. And women find that irresistible, because deep down every woman knows a man who can control his own mind and body will never lose himself in chaos. Self-discipline is not about punishment, it's about freedom. It's the quiet confidence of knowing you can have everything, yet choose only what truly matters. So ask yourself, who's really in control? Your emotions or you? Because when a man becomes the master of his desires, he becomes the master of his destiny. And that, my friend, is a power money can never buy. 6. The aura of inner peace. When was the last time you felt truly at peace? Not distracted, not entertained, but quietly content. Sitting with yourself without needing anything or anyone to make you feel complete. Most people can't remember. Because in today's world, peace is rare, and that's exactly why it's so attractive. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." That wasn't just philosophy, it was emotional wisdom. He understood something we've forgotten. Real strength isn't loud. It's still. Women can sense that stillness. They feel when a man carries peace instead of chaos. When his presence calms the room rather than competes for it. Let me tell you a story that will make this clear. There was a man named Sad. He was everything society says a man should be. Good job, good looks, charm, success. But deep inside he was restless. Every small thing would trigger him, a delayed text, a disagreement, even silence. He lived in constant reaction, and the woman he loved felt it. She once told him, "You make me feel anxious, not safe." Those words haunted him. One night, unable to sleep, he stumbled upon a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Sad realized he had mastered everything except himself. So he started small. He began meditating for 10 minutes a day. He stopped arguing with people just to be right. He focused on breathing when anger rose, walking away when pride called him to fight. And slowly things changed. He no longer needed to win every conversation. He stopped checking his phone obsessively. He didn't chase validation or panic over silence. Instead, he built a friendship with his own thoughts. His woman noticed first. She told him, "You feel different, peaceful." That's when it clicked. Peace isn't about isolation. It's about mastery of emotion, about choosing how you respond instead of being controlled by impulse. A man with inner peace has nothing to prove. He doesn't chase because he trusts. He doesn't overreact because he understands that control begins within. Women are deeply drawn to that, not because it's dramatic, but because it's rare. When she's around a peaceful man, she can finally exhale. She feels grounded, understood, protected, not by words, but by energy. Marcus Aurelius taught that calmness is a superpower. When you stop letting the world dictate your emotions, you become unshakable. And that's the aura every woman secretly loves more than money. The man who doesn't need chaos to feel alive. So brother, be the calm in her storm. Be the silence in her noise. Be the peace she never found in anyone else. Because when you master peace, you don't just attract love, you radiate it. And in that stillness, you'll realize something powerful. The man who needs nothing attracts everything. Conclusion: the Stoic truth about attraction. Women might be impressed by wealth, looks, or fame for a moment, but the attraction that lasts, that shakes her soul, comes from your essence. These are not tricks. They are truths, timeless, universal, and rare. Marcus Aurelius lived centuries ago, but his philosophy still cuts through the noise of modern dating because it speaks to what truly matters: virtue, presence, and purpose. When you live by these principles, you stop trying to attract and start to emanate. You don't chase love, you become love. You don't beg for respect, you command it. Because the Stoic man doesn't need to impress, he simply is. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.